Good evening, everybody. It's Friday night, my friends, and I'm back. And we're getting ready here to jump back on in to some. There it is. Okay. Jump back on into some some game dev stuff. Where we left off, we were actually getting pretty close to being able to like display a solid color via Vulkan stuff here. So hopefully we'll be able to do at least a solid color tonight. I hope. So we'll see where we're at there with that. But welcome on in, everybody. Welcome. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope you're all healthy and happy and all of those things. Kicking butt, taking names, maybe getting ready to start the weekend. I know I'm ready to start the weekend. I'll tell you that much. I will tell you that much. Cool. So we had finished up. I think we put our changes in for render, at least all the changes that we could do at the moment. And then swap chain. Swap chain has to take in the queue now. So it needs the presentation queue and the list of concurrent queues. Okay, so let's look at swap chain over here. So it takes the presentation queue and a list of concurrent queues. And that's in the constructor, right? Yes. So welcome presentation queue, and then list of queues. Alright, so we take in the concurrent queues. Then, is that... So up top there we have a list of semaphores now as well. Alright, so... So list of semaphores there. Concurrent queues. Alright, and then down in here. Surface, min image count, image format, image color space, image extent, image array layers, image usage, pre-transform, composite alpha, clit. Mode. So what changed here? I don't think anything changed there based on what I have. But now we have concurrent queues right before we do the indices. Here, wait, concurrent queues right after we do presentation mode. Alright, so what is this? Concurrent queues length is not null. I don't even need to do that, right? Because what's it doing here? It's just saying, is it using number of queues for anything other than the for loop? No, so just looping over the concurrent queues that are passed in, if any. So I guess I do have to check to see if it's not null. So if concurrent queues does not equal null, and what are we doing here? Q, concurrent queues I. If the queue family index is not equal to presentation queue, queue family index. Then add the index of that to a list. And then if that list is greater than 0, then malloc some memory for it. Go over each and put those into an int buffer. And then we have to put them, add them to the image sharing mode and stuff. Okay. So I'll do list integer indices. All right, so Q indexes equals concurrent queues stream filter okay. Presentation queue, get queue family index. So, So we'll just say Q family index does not equal right, and then map Q family index. So tonight, what's going on here? Filter and map can be swapped. No, they can't. I don't know why it's suggesting that. You know, I don't want to map all of them. I just want to map the ones that have been filtered out. That's weird. It's very, very weird. I don't know why it's suggesting that. Anyway, Q indices is there. Okay, and then we can say yeah, if it's not empty. So if Q indices, whoops, if not Q indices that is empty, buffer index buff stack like int. Is that what we're doing? Yeah, size +1. So Q sees that size +1. And then for each, we're just putting them straight into there. I wonder if there's a index buffer dot. There is an int array. Interesting. Does that, I wonder if that works the way I hope it works. Oh, this is all Java NIO stuff. Oh. Oh, this is JVM stuff. So I'll bet it does work. So I do put int. I'm going to assume that that just works. So if that's the case, then I can do Q indices, indexes dot Dot to array. Although I think it's going to say it doesn't, yeah. What do I want to do? Int. No. What am I doing here? Yeah, no, this is completely wrong. Actually, you know what? Let's just do this an easier way. There's something in Commons collections. Or, yeah. Or is there, wait, is there arrays dot... No. Array utils dot... No. Crap, what is the name of it? It's not, it's... Collection utils. Dot. There's like a way to turn it into a native array. Damn it. Let's look it up here. Apache Commons native array. Array utils. Array swap to primitive. Oh yeah, I was right. Array utils to primitive. Yes. Yes, I was right. I thought it was in there. Yeah. Array utils to primitive. Okay, why doesn't it like this? It wants me to cast the argument. Wait, does toPrimitive not... Oh, it returns an object? Really? Really? Oh. Okay. All right, well, we'll cast it to an array. I would have thought, I guess 2 primitive is so old at this point that it's like, it doesn't take into account generics or something. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Oh, you know what it is? Actually, I'm doing this. I'm doing this harder than I need to do this. Let's just make it, because it's just a temporary array thing anyway. So, we'll say int q indexes equals new. I'll just do it this way, like that. And then this will be to array. Okay, why? To array returns an object array. Does it take a... Let's see. To array int function. Int function. Integer dot. No. I gotta figure out what integer function would be. So, think. Java streams to array int function. Interface, integer argument, and result. Yeah, okay. How does it work in practice? Stream map to int. Oh, I can do integer int value. Or wouldn't I just do... Yeah, like wouldn't I do just like this, new? That makes more sense to me. So if I just did... No, you don't like that, huh? Okay. So if I did your no, it doesn't like that. So map to int. Oh, now it works because it knows it's an int stream now. Okay. Well, that makes okay. That makes more sense. They put like map to blah 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 to make that work. So I just have to change this then. This one, let's might not have been initialized. Still gonna ding me on that. You know what? Screw you. I'm gonna put this in here since it still matters just under this one if statement here, right? And I don't know if I need to check for a null there. Instead, I'm going to do this. Right, and then down here, I don't need to do this at all. I can just say Q indexes. Right, and then I assume they have another, because they did +1 on there, so I assume there's another thing I'm supposed to shove in there. Yeah. Oh, then it wants me to put the presentation queue at the very end. Okay. And then do a flip on it. Okay. So those in there, and then index buff, put presentation queue family index. And flip it. And then add it to swap chain create info. Yeah, inside this if statement here. Okay, so swap chain create info. Image sharing mode, concurrent. PK sharing mode concurrent. Okay. PK sharing mode concurrent. Q family index count is index buffer dot capacity, and then PQ family indexes is the index buffer. Okay, and then else, just do exclusive sharing mode. Okay. Okay, so we have that. And then is the rest of this long buffer, swap chain, build image views. Yeah. There is the, so number of images, image views, length. Number of images. Did they add that at the top here? Image views, length. Wait, create image views. So I have build image views here. This dot image views I set. Oh, they're taking the number of images. Well, that's fine. I set it in there, and then they're creating the semaphores lists. And then current frame is 0. Oh, they did add a private int current frame. Okay. Which, I mean, just initialize it at the top. You know, I mean, just initialize it at the top. Like, what are you doing here? Sync semaphores device. Okay, so number of images. So that's just to create number of semaphores. Number of images, sync semaphores. Again, I question why that needs to be an array. And I didn't make an array, so screw that noise. Let's, so we have the build image views there, so then the semaphores is just, and then that sets the, yeah, image views for each, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so, image views for each. Sync semaphores device. So what I will do here right, add new semaphore device. Okay, and then we'll do int current frame equals 0. All right, very good. And what else did they change there? Was that the only thing? No, of course it wasn't. Of course that wasn't the only thing that changed. So did that. Many semaphores as images as we have. Okay, done that. Also, we got to add it to the cleanup. So sync semaphores list for each sync semaphores cleanup. Okay. Oh, they made a record in there called sync semaphores. Render complete, image acquisition and render complete. Oh, okay. So I gotta do that. Why didn't you put this first, you stupid... Oh, by the way, this thing we've been referring to, here's where we define it. This whole time. All right, so let's do this. Sync semaphores record here. Oh, wait, what am I doing? And then image. Render complete semaphore. Just setting both of them to the same one, huh? Okay. If you call that particular one, okay. Okay. I mean, they are different. Yeah, okay. Just doing actually different semaphores for each. Okay, never mind. Public void. Cleanup. Okay, so that cleans that up a little bit. And then on cleanup here, we're gonna add this. Right after the image views cleanup. Okay. Okay, so I have that. And then what? They really should have broke this chapter up into like 2 chapters or something. Because this is insanity right now. Sync semaphores. So did the cleanup. Did that. And then seeing what image is freed and not being presented. We have to find a new attribute called named current frame to be able to manage sync elements and per frame resource will use for each frame render. Okay. Okay, so they added this whole new acquire next image method. And then present image. Or I guess present image. I don't know. One or the other. It's presentation image, right? It's presentation, so it's yeah. And then there's a forward render activity. Class. All right, so 2 methods: acquire next image, present image. So let's go here. So here's acquire next image. It's public, so okay, so we have to do the memory stack and stuff. So image index is what we're returning. Return -1. We're not returning anything if it's suboptimal. Okay. Okay, success. we're going to do that a better way. Yeah, there's no reason to have the image index there because you're already like in a spot here where you're returning other things. Okay. Okay. The hell are we doing here? Are we? Okay, wait a minute. Java. Bitwise not. Why are we doing? Why? Why is it doing a bitwise not of 0? Because a bitwise. So they're doing a bitwise not of 0 to make it all ones. Why not do max long? Am I missing something there? Why wouldn't you just do max long then? Because it's a long. You're saying it's a long number. But am I? Wait, is it just? Let's just see what it. Let's see what it is. Let's get to that point. Need to do a so public int acquire next image. All right, fine. Buffer. So error equals, it's not even really an error, right? It's results. KHR swap chain, VK acquire next. Acquire IQ. Acquire next image. KHR. Device get VK device. So device get device VK swap chain. Wait, what is VK swap chain? Oh, ID. And what's this next one supposed to be? Current frame. Current frame. Image acquisition semaphore. ID, right? Memory util null and then buffer. Let's see what this third parameter is. Device swap chain. Oh, it's the timeout. So I guess they're essentially saying never timeout. So use that. I mean, Jesus Christ. Again, that's just further evidence that they just copy pasted from a C book. Because that's exactly the kind of thing you do in C. Because it makes sense there. But when you have a constant you can use in Java, use the constant. Right? It's like, A, it's less confusing, and B, Java stores constants in memory differently so that they're easy to access. And then we're just checking the error. So I'm going to do return switch result case KHR swap chain VK error out of date. And that's just -1. VK suboptimal. So that is we don't actually care. We're not doing anything with it. So I will say VK suboptimal and VK success. Can I do this? Oh, VK, that's just get 0. Is renew runtime exception. Doesn't like this, does it? It doesn't like when you just throw an exception there. Oh, wait. Oh, duh. Yeah, it's fine with it. Do I need this here? Yes, I do, because I'm doing an equals. Yeah. Okay, wait, error out of date? Did I oh, I did, yeah, okay. That was correct. Okay, so public int. Public boolean, present image. Present. I think that, yeah, present image. See, this is why you don't use the word present. Unless it's very clear what you're, because it could be a present. Or is it the present image, or are you presenting an image? This looks like it's presenting the image. So I'm going to call it show image. Whether that's accurate or not. Q image index. Resize false. We're returning whether it's resized or not. Okay. Sure. And okay. BK. Hey, Outlaw, welcome on in. How you doing? How you feeling? Did you have a good dinner? VK present info cage R. Info KHR colic. Passing more stuff to that? Yeah, S-type. Okay, so we're creating a structure. Isn't VK? Oh, KHR swap chain. VK. KHR swap chain. Structure type present info. Okay, and then I'm doing good. Just writing some code, drinking a brew. Echoing in the weekend. I think I finally solved the... I don't want to jinx it, but I think I finally solved the one problem I've been having with our UI date pickers at work. So that was a real pain because it was a bug down in the library that we were using. And I had to find a way to work around it. Yeah, no problem. No problem whatsoever. Yeah, I actually, while you were fighting that boss, the one big boss that you kept dying to, when you were fighting him, had an epiphany and I was fixing it then. It was like, I think I know what's going on here. So you killed a boss and I kind of, sort of slayed a boss too. Of a different kind. So it was pretty good. So P weight semaphores. Huh. Stack longs. P weight semaphores. Stack of longs. Okay. Current frame. Render complete. There we go. And then swap chain count 1. And if I'm lucky tonight, we might actually get a solid color displaying in the Vulkan engine. Maybe. P swap chains. Stack along swap chain. Stack ints. P swap chains. Stack longs. D. And then image index. P image indices. Stack ants. Image index. Okay. Interesting. Oh, all right. So, while I'm going through this here, so I was commenting on the old blue sky over there about Twitch's latest blog posts. I didn't read all the blog posts because most of it seemed like it was just kind of, you know, smoke screen to say that something's happening. But the one thing that did jump out at me was that for their 2025 roadmap, and we all know how terrible Twitch is at roadmaps, they are going to open up monetization to everybody. Of course, there's no details on that, but they're going to allow, and they did qualify by saying it was going to be subscriptions in bits, but they didn't say anything about, particularly about ads or anything like that, which honestly, that's the one thing that I'm more interested in, is just being able to like know when an ad's happening and be able to maybe possibly run an ad so I don't get the pre-rolls all the time, stuff like that. That would be kind of nice, but they didn't make any mention of that. But they did also say that they want streamers to be able to spend their earnings on Twitch. So, in other words, you know, instead of getting a payout, you could use those earnings immediately for bits or subs or something like that on other channels. And both of those things make sense from a Twitch perspective, right? Because it's like, I've said for years that Twitch has been like leaving money on the table by not opening up their monetization to just everybody. Everybody that they can anyway, based on location. But I'm curious as to the second bullet point, whether or not Twitch is going to up the payout threshold. Maybe not for partners, but maybe for everybody else. In order to sort of encourage people to not liberate their money from Twitch's pockets so easily. They didn't mention anything about it, but in my head, that would make the most business sense for them. When did this come out? It came out on Thursday, I think. If I go Twitch monetization blog. Here it is. What's next in 2025? An open letter. from CEO Dan Clancy. I'll put it in the chat here. So there's that. I can't find my cursor. There it is. Yeah, and so like down, I don't know why Twitch, like, Jesus, there we go. I don't know why it defaults to blinding you, their blog posts. So they had like, improving the mobile experience, which, I mean, the mobile app is absolute crap from what I understand, so they might as well just have that on there just as, we're doing stuff. We swear we're doing stuff. More ways to edit and share clips. Unlocking monetization for everyone. And it's like, in 2025, we're excited to open up monetization tools, subscriptions, and bits, specifically, to most streamers from day one. So they only call out subscriptions and bits, which leads me to believe we're still going to be like second-class citizens. You know? Because they don't mention ads at all, which is a little bit odd to me, because that's really the big brouhaha, right? Is like, care not for subs and bits, but I do care for like not having people immediately get blasted with ads and then leave before they even can see the stream, you know? And then it's the second bullet point. We're also introducing an option which will allow all streamers to use their earnings on purchases within Twitch. So, Twitch bucks. We're going to get some Twitch bucks. Probably. You know, the old, we're sorry you didn't like your purchase. Here's a coupon for more stuff from us. So, I mean, it makes perfect business sense. But like I said, it also pushes that snowball downhill, right? Where it's like, well, if they want streamers to use their earnings to purchase stuff on Twitch, they are probably, I would think, going to push the monetization threshold up. So it's like what, $100 now you need in order to pay out, to get a payout. So maybe they might not inch it up right away, you know, because they don't want. They'll probably slide it under the rug somewhere and just like do it in the midst of doing something else, you know. But I suspect that might be the next thing coming. The Twitch gift card only expendable on Twitch. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But that would make sense to me. And it might be that, again, they might be just creating another class of citizens, a third class. So, you know, if you're not a affiliate, then you're probably this other category where you can only do subscriptions and bits, maybe. And also your payout threshold might be like $500 or something. And then if you make it to affiliate, you know, you get the benefits, quote unquote, of having lower payouts and stuff like that, you know. And I imagine they're going to make sure they don't do anything to partners, because the partners are their bread and butter. So that'll probably stay the same. But I don't know. I mean, maybe they'll get rid of it. Maybe affiliates, I mean, maybe everybody will be classified as an affiliate and have all the same functionality. I don't know. To me, as a developer, that would make the most sense. Be like, all right, just open up the affiliate program. There's no qualifications anymore. Just, you have to be, you know, you have to live somewhere where legally they can pay you out, and you have to have, you know, a social security number or what have you, and a bank account, you know. But I don't know. They're very vague on it, which tells me that it may not even happen in 2025. It's probably going to be like 5 years away. More creator sponsorships, more frequent promotional events, interactive features. I think they're mentioning here. Yeah, they're doing custom power-ups and stuff. So they're bringing in like Stream Elements stuff to Twitch, which, I mean, it's about time. Like, they've been slowly kind of bringing some stuff in, you know, because they've relied so heavily on third parties. And now they're slowly starting to bring some first party stuff in, like overlays and all this stuff, which honestly, again, makes perfect sense. They should have all that stuff in their own ecosystem. Some of that too, I think, might be because they're also breaking the hell out of all the integrations right now, because they're sunsetting a big portion of their API that a lot of integrations like Mix It Up and Bot and all those guys use. And Twitch is shutting it down over the next couple months. I think in June or July, they're going to shut it down completely. But over the next couple of months, they're having rolling blackouts of it. Right? So, like, there was one, I think last week, where it was down for 6 hours or something like that. And it was a planned 6-hour outage to try to encourage adoption of their new API, even though most of the people affected by it have no way of doing anything about it. They're all waiting for updates to their favorite bots as it is. And then and I think next month there's going to be one that's like 12 hours, and I think they're doing 24 hours, and then 48 hours, and 72 hours, and then I think it's like, and then it's just completely done at that point. So, I mean, for people relying on bots for stuff, that's going to really, really suck, because you have nothing, there's nothing you can do except wait for your bot to get updated. You know, that's not really the way you do it either. It's one of those, this sounds like a good idea, but in practice it's a really, really bad idea, because you're just pissing people off for no reason. Yeah, and they're expanding guilds and ambassadors, which again is just smoke and mirrors. That whole thing is just, they're not, we're doing stuff, guys. Seriously. See, look, we're totally down with the kids. We're, you know, hello fellow children. You know, they're so distant from their own community that none of this will ever do anything, right? They're just, the rift between Twitch and its actual community is so wide and so insurmountable at this point that none of this will do anything. It's just all, you know, eyewash. It's a, look, we're actually doing something when we're not. And then updated enforcement system, which basically, I mean, I find this part hilarious because they basically just fired everybody who was in their trust and safety team. And they made it completely volunteer now. So, yeah, good luck on that, is what I say to that. But, you know, I mean, it's only taken them this long to figure out how stupid they've been over the years. So who knows? Who knows? I more and more I get the impression that they're bleeding money, and they're just they're trying anything and everything they can at this point. Um, and it is what it is. Um, and they just keep pushing these tools that nobody wants or uses. The stream together nonsense or whatever the hell they're calling it this week. Nobody wanted that, and nobody's using it. And they spent all that money and all that time and effort to make it, and then nobody cares. And they had, and the thing is, it's a good feature. I mean, I was looking at a similar feature for Glimish. It's a good idea. It's just you have to sell it to the community, and they don't. They just throw shit out there without talking to anybody, without really explaining what they're trying to do or having a roadmap or showing what their thought process was, and then they're saying, you'll like this, trust us. And it's like, everybody's like, whatever. Make affiliates more noticeable, and smaller streamers partners are the main income, but smaller streamers can bring in that revenue. Small guys are hidden. Yeah. No, I mean, exactly. I mean, that's the next part of it, right? It's like the first part is put everyone on even ground, right? And then the second part of that is make sure everyone is rowing the same direction. I mean, you think about it, like there's a whole industry that is spun up around the streaming stuff, and it's all numbers based, because that is what YouTube and Twitch have pushed so heavily, are numbers. And what it has done is it's caused the community to be mostly hostile, right? You've got partners who are spinning up second and third channels, and then they're going live on one, and then when they're done, they're rating their second channel. They're not rating other streamers, they're just rating their second channel. And then that's just playing reruns all day, right? And it's just like, and I don't necessarily disagree with their approach. I disagree on principle, because in principle you're supposed to be, we're all in this together, and you're supposed to be actually helping, other streamers, not just your small little group of people. We're all trying to be entertaining. But on the other hand, they need money. They're doing it 24/7, and the money is, the thing sustaining them right now, right? It's like they have moderators to pay, and they have all these other things going on. And so the money talks, right? The money says, hey, retain as many people as you can, keep your numbers up, keep your numbers going. Hey, you want all these free games? You want this free promotion? You want to be able to promote these things? Well, you got to keep your numbers going, right? And it's just like, it's such a, it lacks all the fun that streaming used to have. Like, it has sucked the fun out of streaming, right? Like, it used to be, you streamed because you were having fun. Yeah, it was great to have, some money coming in, but everybody pretty much had some kind of secondary job, when they could. And when they didn't, when they were making enough money to make this their full-time job, that was a celebration, right? That was a good thing. But they were still, helping everybody else out. And they were still, you know, rowing in the same boat as everyone else. And now it's just like, it's the problem became that Twitch started treating them differently. Instead of treating, there should never have been a concept of affiliate and partner in the first place. It should have been just, you're monetized or you're not monetized, period. And that should have been not based on numbers, but based on just you, the individual, wanting to be monetized or not wanting to be monetized, right? It's just like, because otherwise you're just creating the haves and have-nots, right? The partners get free reign of tools that, others don't get. They're rolling out new features to partners before they're rolling them out to everybody else. And it's just like, and so what ends up happening is, they'll do this, they'll say, hey, this new feature's coming down, and it's all great and awesome, partners only for now, right? And so it rolls out to partners. Most of the partners don't even know that it's rolled out because they're not keeping up to date with anything, right? And then eventually Twitch switches, flips the switch and lets everyone have that feature, but nobody knows that this, it's, by that point, it's out of the news cycle, it's out of everybody's mindset, and nobody even realizes it's there. And so it just rolls out to crickets, right? And it's just like, they've done this to themselves. It's like, instead of barricading all these things to people, just treat everybody the same. And then you can get these cycles of hype and all this nonsense, and you'll actually get people probably using the features, that you have, instead of just having things go out to die. Although, they have managed to, I mean, it's even funnier that every time they do something, they manage to piss off a segment of their population, of the community. First it was like, well, we're going to enforce our decency rules a little bit better. And immediately VTubers are like getting banned for nothing, right? And then they're like, we need to save money on storage because, we should have had a limit on storage in the first place, but we never did. And now we need it because we're spending millions of dollars and saving VODs and highlights and all this stuff around. So we're going to kill highlights. We're going to make it so you can only store so many highlights. And basically destroyed the speedrunning community in the process, right? Because now you've got all these speedruns, like on speedrun.com and everything, that reference highlights on Twitch for the world records and things like that. And now all of a sudden, all that stuff is going to start disappearing, unless they manage to migrate all their things over to YouTube. And it's just like all you had to do was like talk to people, find out the ramifications of the things that you're doing, number one, and then number two, explain yourself and why you're doing things, and then number three, and don't and leave the marketing corporate speak at home. Speak plainly about things. And then number three, like, when you roll out a feature, like, if put limits on it, put like, reasonable limits on something that you know is going to cost you a lot of money. I mean, they can't go back in time and fix that problem from before, but they could have, I mean, they could have even made it so that instead of, you know, they could have had a rolling thing like they're doing with the API, right? They could have said, okay, in 2 months, you have to be under this amount left. In 4 months, you have to be under this amount. And then in 6 months, this will be the you know, you have to be under this number of hours of highlights. You know, it's just like, it's just, yeah, it's just weird. They it's just further evidence that they just are so out of touch with how people actually use their platform. But you know, it's, I mean, what are you gonna do? Or, you know, even better yet, they could have, I mean, they have an export to YouTube option, right? You have that for, I think for VODs and stuff, or at least we used to. I don't know if they've gotten rid of that or not, right? So, like, make a migration tool for people and say, like, look, we need you to get under this amount of hours of highlights, right? So here's how to do it. Here's the steps. We'll give you a migration tool where you can do a mass migration to YouTube. You can just select all the things that you want to move over to YouTube, link up with your YouTube account, and we'll run a job in the background that pulls everything over for you, right? And then that way you're not losing anything. It's still there. And in fact, they could have gone one step further and said, and look, if you migrate these things over to YouTube, we'll automatically redirect any links that were pointing to that highlight over to the YouTube URL for that highlight for you. And then that way, if you've uploaded things to speedrun.com or stuff like that, those links will just transparently redirect over to YouTube once you've moved them, and then you don't have to do anything. And they could have made it super painless for people. They didn't put enough thought into that. You know, it's just, you know, I don't know. What bothers me more about that is I can almost guarantee that there was a dev somewhere in Twitch who probably suggested all of that, and they just ignored them. Right? Because I don't, when I complain about these things, I'm not complaining about the devs necessarily on Twitch, because I get the feeling that they probably have some really good developers. The problem is those really good developers are not being listened to. Usually. That's usually the problem throughout all corporations that are technology corporations. There's usually some very talented developers who have some excellent feedback and excellent concerns, and they're just ignored a lot of times. And it sucks, you know. It takes a long time, you know. It's a very lucky day when you find a company that is small enough that the chain of communications is small, and you can talk to the people you need to talk to convince the people you need to convince, and still have job security, right? Because yeah, you can work for small companies, but a lot of those small companies just kind of, they come in and they're fly by night. They come in and they're out, you know. And I've seen a couple of them. I haven't worked for them personally, but I've seen a couple of them that were like super early, and you would think getting into a small company super early would be a good thing, because if that company takes off, you're a made man at that point, right? But no, because I've seen companies that start out really small and they'll pay you in funny money. Like they'll pay you a salary. It'll be a low salary because they don't have funding yet. But then they'll say, "Well, we'll compensate you in stock options, or we'll compensate you in, you know, some future thing," right? And there's so many people that are like, "Well, these guys seem reputable. Let's do this," and then they just you're gambling at that point, right? And far too often, none of that ever works out. And not only is it's not even a matter of the company not working out, because a lot of those companies do actually work out. They do end up getting bought out by larger companies or staying independent for a while and making some good money. But those promises suddenly disappear, right? I did have an experience with one of the companies that I worked with where we were privately owned, and we as employees had a stock purchase program. So we were privately owned, we had private shares, but portions of our paychecks would go to the stock purchase program. So we all had stocks essentially, but they were they were based on your tenure and other things, right? And you would get a certain amount every year. And so the idea was, oh, this is an employee-owned company, quote unquote. So when another company comes along and wants to acquire us, they have to buy out all the employees. So, oh, it says new messages. That's interesting. Hang on. What's going on here, and why can't I see? Something's going on with Moonbeam here. I can't see the chat. I believe there's someone chatting in Moonbeam. And if you are, I apologize. The Moonbeam chat is not. No. Okay. No, it just says 2. That's weird. No, I don't see it on the other page. That's strange. I don't know. Yeah, no, there's nobody chatting anyway. Right, although it logged me out of this thing here, so 1 second. Password. Docs. Okay. Yeah, the message area still looks a little bit weird, but I think it's okay. Anyway, you know what? Let me just type something in there and see if it is showing up, because it looks weird. Oh, it's not showing up. What is going on there? Yeah, that's super broken. I think it looks to me like the chat on Moonbeam right now is just completely broken. Like, I don't see any of it. And I just type something in there and I don't see it coming up. So, apologies to anyone who might be chatting on Moonbeam. I cannot see your chats right now. It is what it is. They're in beta, so I mean, I'm sure they'll figure something out with that. But it's does not appear to be working at all. So apologies on that. Oh, your stream crashed? I should still be alive though. Yeah. Okay. Um yeah, it's um yeah, so like there was a so we had all that employee stock purchase program and all that stuff, and then sure enough Oracle rolls on in and says, "We want to buy your company." I'm like, "Great. Okay. We have all, we're employee owned, quote unquote. So, we need you to buy them out and all this stuff." And Oracle was like, "Nah, we're not going to buy them out." And we're like, "Well, I mean, they have stocks in the company." Like Oracle's like, "Don't care, not going to buy them." So, so like, "Look, this is our offer for you. You either take it or you leave it." And well, the owners took it because it was a lot of money for them. The rest of us shaft it. If not for one owner. One owner did come around and take a portion of his payout and put it all into an annuity and had us all get paid based on our stock purchase, how much stock we had and everything like that. So we all did get paid, but we got paid in a back channel. And only because that one owner was kind enough and I guess ethical enough to realize that this was a shitty situation that should never have happened, right? But yeah, that was the thing. So there's a lot of shenanigans that go on at companies. So I'm not sure how I got off on that tangent now, but that's where we are. KHR swap chain. So we've got int results, our swap chain, VK Q presence, KHR, QID, and then presence. And then info KHR. Okay. And what are we doing here? Size is true. I guess error out of date is the only thing that does resize. Okay. I'm not gonna do the else if there. I'm just gonna say if results equals, what is it? KHR swap chain. Error out of date. Size equals true. Else if results does not equal VK14.VK success. Row runtime exception. Fail to show KHR And it's incrementing current frame plus, it's incrementing current frame by 1 mod the length of the image views. So so rolling it back around to 0 if we get to the end. Okay. So that really has, yeah, that should be outside. Okay, so that's good. Huh. Let me pop this out. One second here. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting a pop-up that's saying, or I'm getting a bubble that's saying I have new messages on Moonbeam, but I can't see the messages themselves. So I apologize to anyone who might be chatting over there, because it is not working. Oh, here we go. I just refreshed. Hello, Tess. Welcome on in. Sorry about that. It's the chat is not when I pop out the chat, it's not working in the pop out. Let me try it again here. Yeah. Okay. So the chat is working. The chat is working in the full screen, but it's not working in the pop out. So apologies on that. Welcome on in. How are you doing? Yeah, they have some kind of bug there. I'll have to report the bug for them on that one. It's still a work in progress. Yeah, it is. It's still a work in progress. They literally just made changes for right before their beta rollout, and it was so like the pop out is now, it's different a little bit, and I think they have a little problem there. Good figuring out the system. Yeah, I hear you. Okay. So I've got this done. So that's show image, right? So I got all that. I think I just have to remember that I called it show image. All right. So with that said, then what was the next thing here I needed to wire up? Swap chain. So I did this. I did this. I did that. I did that, and I did that. Okay, so then there's forward render activity. Which I feel like I did forward render activity, but we'll look and see. Forward render activity, forward render activity. Submit. And so that goes into... And then there's a change to queue. So I may or may not have to... Oh, yeah, queue submit I have to do. Yeah, okay. And... Alright, so let's do this forward render activity thing. If I can find it on their stuff here. Here we go. Forward render activity. Let's see. I am trying to learn how to do game development in general, but mostly in Java. So I have a like very early stage of just trying to load a model up and spin it, and I have that working in OpenGL, and now I'm trying to get it working in Vulkan. So so right now, if I go to, I don't know if it'll let me run or not, but let's just see. Yeah. Oh, this is okay. So I have a bug right now, but I can. What is this Vulkan renderer? I can probably fix that right now. Here's that render. Okay, so pressing Q and then graphics Q. Do I have that here? Yeah, I do. So presentation Q, then new. Actually, list of graphics Q. Right there, right? And then let's see if this works. Yeah, so this is the OpenGL version here. I can use the arrow keys on the keyboard to spin this little model around. So I got that. And now, and this is just, like I said, OpenGL. And then I have, I was working on the Vulkan one here, just to learn how to do it. So it's basically what I'm doing, just trying to learn how all these things work. And I'm using Java because that is the language I use every day at work, and it's the one I'm most familiar with. And I wanted to focus on the concepts and not on trying to learn the language while I'm doing it. So yeah, that's what I'm up to. And hopefully, I'll be able to get a little bit further with the Vulkan one, because right now it just shows a empty box. So I'm hoping to have a actual solid color at least on there after all this setup. All right, so forward render activity. So I think I have to do this whole class. Do I have? I don't have this, right? Oh, I do. Did I already do this? Forward renderer. I did. I did indeed already do this. Wow, past me was productive. Current me is definitely not productive. Past me was really productive. I just didn't do. I didn't do submit because I didn't have the semaphores in there yet. Okay. So cool. So we'll do that right now. Swap chain, get current. Get current frame. Oh, did I not? I didn't put a thing on the swap chain, did I? I didn't put the get current frame on there. There we go. That would help. Get current frame is the index. Fence, current fence. Oh, I see what we're doing. Okay. So current frame. And then fence. Current frame. And then call reset. And then command buffer. Okay. Command buffer. Sync semaphores. So swap chain dot sync semaphores. What are we doing here? Get semaphores list index. So I don't have the get sync semaphores list in here. So let's do that. That on there. And get current frame. Right, and then Q submit. Okay. So I need the submit method on Q here. All right. So let's go to base device Q. Public void submit. command buffers, weight semaphores, square buffer, command buffers, long buffer, weight semaphores. And in buffer, destination stage masks. Long buffer, signal semaphores. And then fence. All right, we got memory stack, and then we're doing VK submit info. Info colic with the stack, right? And this will be VK14 dot structure. Type submit info. Yeah. P command buffers, P signal semaphores. It's the weight semaphores. No, signal semaphores. If weight semaphores is not null, then we gotta do that. Okay. Submit info, weight semaphore counts. Capacity. P weight semaphores, P des, okay, P weight semaphores, P weight destination stage mask. Otherwise, the weight semaphore count is 0. Fence handle. Fence is not null. Get the ID. Otherwise, VK null handle. Null handle. VKQ submit. submit. So ID, submit info, and then handle. So ID, submit info, let's handle, and then ID is not the thing. EKQ. I think that's correct. Yeah, and then otherwise, failed to submit command to queue. Okay. So let's submit. Do I have a wait idle? I do. Okay. Okay, so then down here is where we actually call queue submit. Now, let's say queue.submit and stack pointers. All those are pointers. Well, stack pointer. Well, that's a stack pointer. Anyway, stack pointers, command buffer. Okay. Wait, no. Command buffer, get VK command buffer. Did that return VK command buffer? It did, okay. Stack longs. So image acquisition. Sync semaphores. Image acquisition semaphore ID. And then stack ints. Okay. EK pipeline stage color attachment output bit. EK pipeline. Pipeline what? Stage color attachment bit. Pipeline. Stage color attachment output bit. There we go. Stack longs is render complete. And then current fence. All right, and then do wait for fence. So we're doing what are we doing here? Index fence, current fence. Oh, okay. Current fence. Current frame. Oh, I see. Fence. Current. I don't need that though, right? I don't need that. Swap chain. Work me. No, I need fences. Get swap chain. Get current frame. Wait for fence. There we go. Okay. All right, so I think I have everything in forward render activity here. It looks like it. So then we need a few more changes, right? Oh. Forward render activity. All right, I added the submit to the queue. So I did that. Okay. Need to go back to swap chain render pass and update the constructor. Okay. Swap chain render pass. And then that's it. Question mark? All right. I'm gonna believe it when I see it. Swap chain render pass. Update the constructor. So VK subpass dependency buffer. Wait, what was the other thing we needed there? Private final swap chain long VK render pass. Okay, I think I have those. So subpass dependency buffer and render pass create info. So where are we at here? Subpass description buffer, subpass dependency buffer. Alright, so after the subpass description buffer, we need that. So subpass, oh, I've already done this, huh? Subpass dependency buffer. Subpass external, destination subpass 0, output bit, access mask, color right bit, render pass create info, attachment subpasses dependencies. Okay, so I think I did this already. Alright, so then I have to do the render now. Image index and stuff like that in Vulkan renderer. So let's put that here. So I've got For render activity, wait for fence. Got that. And then image index. Swap chain acquire next thing. Okay. Acquire next image. If image index is less than 0, return. Render activity, submit graph queue. Okay. Swap chain, show image. There's an image index. Okay. Swap chain, show image, presentation, queue, and then image index. Yes. Okay. Do I have any other to-dos in here? Doesn't look like it. Although window is not used. Set, but it's not used. Let me just see here. Render. They don't actually have window there, do they? So I think I just put that there just for having it there, not for any other reason. Okay, let's see what happens. Well, there you go. We've got the black window at 600 by 600 resolution, running at 58 FPS. Okay. Given that we're not doing anything. I mean, sure. All right. And this is, I do Shift F12, right? I can hide that. Or show it. Okay. Okay. I mean, this is a milestone in and of itself. Oh, holy crap. Now, can I resize this? Does this actually handle the resizing? I'm going to take that as a no. I don't think it liked that at all. Yeah. So no, it doesn't like resizing yet. Couldn't find the correct display. Oh, that's Mango Hut. Yeah, we had a runtime exception. Failed to show KHR. Okay. Fair enough. We still can't, I mean, we can't resize in OpenGL either. I mean, it won't, the window will resize, but the view won't. So, I mean, we're equally as bad there. Okay. So, we have something to show for our efforts. We're freaking, what, 3 weeks we've been working on this particular 5 chapters, 3 weeks, just to get a blank Vulkan window going. So that works. Let me, just so we're at a working spot here, let me commit what we've got right now. Chapter 5 complete. Blank. Vulcan. Window. Acquired. There we go. All right, good. Push that out there so I have it. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So now the big push is to get us to load a model up. And they're going to go through and do like drawing triangles and stuff like that, which is all well and good. What I need to do is figure out what I need in order to get to the part where we want to be. So I guess, so I think it was chapter 9 where it starts to, no, maybe chapter 8. Complex models and textures. Yeah, here we go. Model loader. So I have a model loader already. Loader. This is going through all this stuff, which I think I already have. So then converts list to arrays. Good Lord, why are you... Why? We have a new class called Engine Utils to convert lists to arrays. Or you could just, you know, use the Java Stream stuff, or you could use Apache Commons. I mean, it's just like, oh, they are using the stream stuff here, like what for one, but then for this one, it's, I don't know, it's weird, just weird. So then textures, like I've got all of this stuff now. So now texture though, it looks like it's got some things here that are Vulkan related. And I think the texture class I have has some OpenGL stuff in it. So that's where we're going to have to kind of separate the two. Yeah, because there's like Vulkan buffer, texture. But the texture cache should be fine. I have. Vulkan material. So are they doing the... No, I have a material class. I just have to... Yeah, it's recording this commands and stuff. Device here. Sample Doppler entropy. So we do have like a small thing we have to do to device. Texture descriptor set. And then we're into uniforms. Yeah, okay. Unit changes pipeline. Update the pipeline class, take descriptor sets into consideration. Update the pipeline creation info. Forward render activity. A lot of stuff to there. And then we have shaders. Which I would imagine the shaders that I have should just work, question mark. Because it's shader language. So we'll see. Okay. Model IAP logic. So then looks to me like I gotta figure out where pipeline comes in. So was that chapter 7 maybe? Chapter 7 going 3D. Okay. So maybe I should start with chapter 7 here. Although this is creating a depth image. What is the thing at the end of this? Yeah, see, I don't want that. I don't want to go through all the effort of doing that and then having to undo everything. Forward render activity, but there is some stuff here like forward render activity that's getting updated. I'm just kind of making mental notes of the things that are getting updated. So rendering of 3D models and past transformation matrices. So here's pipeline. That's testing. And scene. So what I might do is, I know there's some things here that are shared, like scene I think is kind of shared. But what I might do, just for the sake of my own clarity, is I might make like a Vulcan scene object, and then once we get something on screen, then I can start to find out where there's overlap. I mean, I think for the model loader, I don't have to do anything different than what we have, but it'll be easier, I guess, to find the overlap afterwards. So chapter 6, buffers. So Vulcan buffer. So this is creating like the Vulcan buffer and stuff. So I am going to have to go step by step through the chapters. But I don't have to do everything. It is, the trick is going to be trying to figure out what I need and what I don't need. For some of this stuff. see, I'm going to need this stuff. So graphics pipeline is a model which describes the steps required to render a scene into a screen. Vulkan, this is modeled using a data structure. Well, of course, everything's a freaking data structure. Control the execution of other steps. Input assembler, vertex shader, tessellation control shader, tessellation evaluations shader, geometry shader, rasterization, fragment shader, blending. Okay. So this actually helps with me understand where the shaders are, because we have like a vertex shader in OpenGL and we have a fragment shader. And so now I know where these are, a little bit better idea of where these are kind of in the pipeline. Shader program. Yeah, so this is creating shader module in Vulkan. Right, because there is a shader program thing there. Shader C. Yeah, we need to compile stuff here. Dependency upon a file. Shader C. I'm pretty sure I have that. Vulkan. No, I guess I don't have it in there. Okay. Code changes a variety utility method called compile shader if change as separate class name. Define like this. Yeah. Now, as I understand it, when I compile these shaders, they will generate a binary file, I believe. Yeah, files right, compiled shader, yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, OpenGL can now also read those binary files, and then I don't need to recompile the shaders for both engines. I can just recompile. I can just compile them once and then run them that way. Because right now the OpenGL one is just compiling the shaders on the fly, which there's only one fragment shader and one index shader, so it's not like a huge thing right now. But it would be nice to get that compilation working over on the OpenGL side as well. Once we get things here up to snuff. Yeah, so I'm going to have to go step by step through all of these, which I figured I would. And just kind of leave out the actual triangle drawing right now. And just move on to the next chapter and just build upon it. The upper left corner uses negative value for y-axis. Height value is also negative. This is because in Vulkan, the origin of coordinates is at the top left. And the y-axis points downwards, the opposite of OpenGL. I'm used to the OpenGL coordinate system. The shaders and the models I use are adapted to that coordinate system. This is why I prefer to flip the viewport to keep on using models that assume that the y-axis points upwards. You can find more details here. Okay. That is an inch. I always thought the origin was at the top left. So OpenGL actually flipped that around and made the origin at the bottom left of the screen. Which I don't think I ever realized that was the case. Because I remember, like in writing DOS things, that in DOS they always handled, when you did software rendering for 3D images, they always handled the top left corner of your screen as the origin. So 000 was there. Because that is also where the raster gun would start, at least on CRT monitors. So it would start rendering the image from the top left, going all the way across, back down each line, all the way down to the end. And then that was your, when the raster hits the bottom right corner of the screen, it then has to move up to the top left again to start, and that's your vertical sync, your vertical blank, basically. So whenever they say whenever you turn VSync on, what you're doing is you're syncing the frames with the raster gun. Well, there's no raster gun anymore in LCD screens, but in the CRT screens, you're syncing with the raster gun and basically telling the computer or telling the software to do get all of your stuff out to the screen during the vertical blanking period, where it's moving from there up to the top again, which happens very quickly, so it's not a whole lot not a whole lot you can do there. But at that point, you should be only just flipping buffers, so you already should have the image already created. It's just you're taking the current image, throwing that away, and replacing it with the next image in memory. So you're just kind of pushing a pointer around. So then it's ready to then start printing the next image. And it does that, on modern monitors, does it 240 hertz, so 240 times a second. But for my purposes, I usually set things to 60 hertz, so 60 times a second. So there's that. That's interesting. Okay. All right. Well, I would like to start this tonight, but it's getting late, and something, I don't know what is up with me, but I'm like, I'm cold and then I'm hot and I'm cold and I'm hot. So I'm like going between kind of ready to sweat and not, and it's cold as balls outside. So I don't know what's up with me right now. But I think that's a good stopping point for tomorrow, my friends. Tomorrow we'll start up chapter 6 and pull all the stuff out of that and try to move our way up to chapter 8 and get some, maybe we'll get I don't think we'll get all the way to rendering the image, but I think we'll get pretty close. Since I have a lot of the stuff kind of in place, it's just a matter of kind of redoing it a little bit. So yeah, cool stuff, my friends. So tomorrow will be some more coding, some more game dev stuff. Um, there may or may not be a stream on Sunday. I want to try to get some recordings done for the YouTubes while demos are still live. Like a couple of demos that I've already done on stream, I want to make an actual recording of for YouTube and you know, little first impressions there. Um, so I may be busy doing that on Sunday as opposed to streaming, but we'll see. You know, I could also. I mean, those videos aren't typically that long, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But in either event, next week we're back to a relatively regular schedule. So Monday, so we've already finished. So I finished Sniper Elite. So Monday will probably be. We'll jump back to Torchlight because I still need to finish Torchlight 1. So we'll do that Monday. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll be back in Avowed. And Thursday, we'll be back to Grim Dawn, doing the DLC for that. Still doing the DLC for that. Friday night, we'll be back doing some coding here. Saturday, there will not be any stream because I have stuff to do. So that is next week's schedule as far as I know it right now. So that is where we're at with that. But anyway, my friends, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I hope everyone has an excellent morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on what it is for you. And hope to see you back here again in the future for some more stuff, whatever happens to suit your fancy. Until then, see you, bye.
space.